Okay, we can start. Yes, I'm happy to be here and to welcome you to the third webinar in the Bob project. Today we are focusing on the amazing plant hemp. My colleague Henrik from Denmark and I from Germany have compiled some interesting facts about hemp cultivation in our countries. And we will take a closer look at its economic, environmental, and climate potential. So let's get started. So a short introduction. Maybe just a short introduction about myself. I'm Jana Denecke. I studied agricultural science and then worked for many years in press and public relations for an agricultural association. For almost exactly 1 year now, I've been working at 3N as a project manager. And I guess Henrik will introduce himself briefly before his presentation. Yeah. In the Bob project, where this webinar takes place, we work together with 16 partners from 5 countries in Northern Europe: the Netherlands, Belgium, France, Denmark, and Germany. Our main target is to design, develop, and strengthen value chain for the use of bio-based materials. All parts of the value chain are represented within the project partners, and we focus on 4 crops: hemp, flax, miscanthus, and red crops like cattle. We had some webinars about miscanthus and cattle yet. We think the use of bio-based materials in the building sector offers unique opportunities for reaching climate goals. We can store CO2 instead of emitting it. That's a very important point. And we can create new business models for farmers and improve soil health and biodiversity. You can learn more about our project on our homepage or follow us on LinkedIn. Shihan regularly provides exciting updates from the project there. Yeah, about 3N. 3N was founded in 2003 in Welte, that's in Lower Saxony. With 25 colleagues, we work together on more than 20 projects in 3 offices spread throughout Lower Saxony. Yeah, we deal with many topics related to renewable resources using a bioeconomic approach. So let's go and start. The hemp cultivation in the EU. In the recent years, the area dedicated to hemp cultivation for fiber has increased significantly in the EU from 20,000 hectares in 2015 to 33,000 hectares in 2022. It's an increase of 60%. In the same period, the production of hemp increases from nearly 100,000 tons to 180,000 tons. That's an increase from 85%. France is the largest producer, accounting for more than 60% of the EU production, and then followed by Germany. The Netherlands, Italy, Lithuania, Poland, and Austria are also importing growing countries. Yeah, the order depends on the area. The order of the countries depends on the. It's depending every year. It's changing every year. So hemp cultivation in Germany, the area under cultivation for hemp in Germany fluctuates considerably. Factors such as seed availability, dry springs, which have reduced harvests and profitability in the recent years. That leads to less area, and the demand from buyers that also fluctuates the area. Yeah. And of course, the legal framework in Germany, farmers have to make a cultivation notification at the BLE, that's the Bundesanstalt für Landwirtschaft und Ernährung. Farmers have to use certified seed, and now for this moment there are more than 100 varieties approved. So we have many hemp seed for the farmers. Farmers have to monitor the THC content, and it has to remain below the legal limit of 0.3%. However, hemp cultivation in Germany has experienced a significant upswing in the recent years. The hotspots for hemp cultivation in Germany: Lower Saxony, where we are located, followed by the Eastern German states like Brandenburg, Sachsen-Anhalt, Sachsen, and Thüringen. I will show you in a slide later. I will explain where the major German hemp processors are located, and then it will become more clear why the farmers work with hemp in the different countries. Yeah, the storage potential of hemp, the requirements for cultivation. Hemp is a very resilient plant without special requirements. Yeah, if you have a deep and humus-rich soil, it shows the best results of harvesting. And hemp likes it warm. The sowing temperature from 5 to 10 degrees, and a frost-free period for more than 120 days. And the high light intensity for the fiber production to roast, I hope it's the word, to roast the fibers for the processing afterwards. Yeah, the European Industrial Hemp Association has made a detailed calculation for the CO2 storage that proves that using a yield average of 5 to 8 tons per hectare represents a 9 to 13 tons of CO2 absorption per hectare harvested. I think that's impressive. But if you remark that hemp can be grown twice a year as a winter or cover crop, and as a main crop in the summer, you can, it maybe can double its CO2 absorption. And it's fast growing. It grows more than 4 meters in 100 days. And that is more efficient than forestry or agroforestry. And I think it's great. Hemp is a great opportunity to reach the European Green Deal in the building sector. It can play a key role in achieving carbon neutrality by 2050. Henrik will show us some more detailed give us some more detailed information about the CO2 absorption. So, an economic view on the hemp cultivation in Germany. There's no systematic data on this hemp cultivation in Germany because there's not an established market, and no transparent price information. Most companies or cooperatives work vertical, and they organize their processing and marketing on their own. A free market is not there, so you can't sell your hemp after harvesting if you don't have a Vertrag. If you don't have a company who buys your hemp. Yeah, we have some data calculated by the von Thun Institute in 2019. They made some expert interviews with hemp growing farms. Yeah, but I think this calculation should be considered as a rough estimate, because the straw price is, some companies pay 150 euros per hectare, per ton. Yeah, but you can see it's quite hard to make it. It depends on every farm. Every farmer has a different calculation and different requirements for the cultivation of hemp. But the main result is that it is not. Hemp has to be compared with wheat production or wheat cultivation, and it's hard to reach the goals that wheat cultivation to earn. You can not earn that much money with the hemp production as with the wheat production. Building with hemp in Germany. Now you see the map of Germany again, and I did some research on big players in Germany and how much hectares of hemp they cultivate or they don't cultivate. Because the first example is the Hanf Farm GmbH. They are located in Mecklenburg-Vorpommern and at the northern east of Germany. They stopped the hemp. They cultivated 800 to 1,000 hectares of hemp in Mecklenburg-Vorpommern and Brandenburg, but they stopped the processing in the end of 2004. So there's a lack of a big company who stopped production, and the farmers, maybe they stopped too. There's no more information to find. Though then Handfather Uckermark is a very big processor or factory. They cultivate 400 to 500 hectares of hemp, and they produce semi-finished products and building materials. Then we have the Handfaser Geiseltal AG, that's in Saxony-Anhalt. Yeah, I don't know. It's a spin-off of the Handfaser Uckermark. They had a call to finance their new factory or their new plant, and they were successful, and the production starts in the end of 2000, at the end of this year, and I think they will start producing this winter. And there's a Vogtlandfaser in the south of East Germany. They work with organic fiber hemp. Yeah, I think there are nearly all farmers who produce hemp in Thüringen that they are members of this Vogtlandfaser.